Hello everyone, welcome to one more video. I am so glad to see you here. I hope you're doing well and feeling inspired. Today I wanted to share with you how I received a personal cleaning tool that helped me through a very hard time in my life. Now, we all know that Dr. Hulen received many cleaning tools throughout his life, right? And those are the tools that he shared to all of us, and we are using these tools still in our daily cleaning. And the question is, I mean, how did Dr. Huland receive so many tools, right? And where did he get these tools from, and how it happened, how this process happened? So Dr. Hulen received these cleaning tools through his inner connection to divinity and the constant Ho'oponopono cleaning that he performed every day. So the tools were given to him by divine inspiration, and that's what happens when we connect to divinity and clean constantly, right? So we are able to receive inspiration. And because Dr. Hulen was, he was very committed to this daily cleaning, he received many tools to help people with their cleaning, and tools that can help us in many different ways, right? Now, Dr. Hulen, he did not create these tools from his mind. It wasn't an intellectual process, but rather he received these tools from a higher frequency, right? And we can only receive anything from divinity when we connect with divinity, with this higher power within us, and we do our cleaning, we clean our memories. There is no other way to access, to be the recipient of inspiration. Now, uh, what about us? Do we have the capability to receive a cleaning tool? And if we clean constantly, will divinity send us an inspiration about a specific tool? By the way, are you enjoying this video? If you are, please remember to like and subscribe. You can help me to grow this channel, and then more people can have access to this content. Thank you so much for your help. Now, the answer for that is yes. We do have the capability to receive a cleaning tool that will work specifically for us, right? And I want to share with you how it happened to me, right? How this happened to me. So many years ago, when my children were very young, very little, I was going through a very difficult time in my life. It was very stressful, and I used to wake up in the morning already feeling super stressed, anxious, and sometimes with very low energy to face the day that was ahead of me. So one morning, I had this very unusual desire to drink coffee. Now, I didn't have the habit of drinking coffee back then, and I believed that, I was already so stressed, and, and using coffee would aggravate the situation. So I purposely didn't drink coffee. But on that specific morning, I had this desire to have some instant coffee, not the regular coffee that you brew, but the instant coffee. So, my kids were sleeping still, and I had some time for myself. And so I prepared this cup of coffee, and I started to drink the coffee very slowly and calmly. And I was looking through the window, the sun was rising, it was very early in the morning, and I felt so much joy, so much pleasure, and this feeling of gratitude came upon me, and for my life, for everything I had in my life, and within that feelings I was having, I felt this overwhelming desire to connect to divinity and to do a cleaning. So while I was drinking my coffee, I just petitioned to Divinity, please clean me, whatever it is going on that's causing me so much stress, so much tension, so much fear, insecurity, doubt, and all the turmoil that I was going through. And during these precious moments that of solitude and peace, I felt very grateful for everything I had, and even though I was drinking caffeine, and caffeine is supposed to make you jittery and everything, I didn't feel in that way. I felt very calm, and my morning went very well. And then after that, my day also went a little bit better than what it was before. So after a few days drinking this coffee, this instant coffee, this clear thought came to me, this information came to my mind, and it was a very clear thought and said something like, this coffee is a cleaning tool for you, right? And I was amazed by this thought. I could not imagine that coffee could be a cleaning tool for me, especially because I didn't drink coffee. I was not in the habit of drinking coffee. So I had a lot of prejudice against the caffeine. I thought it was something bad for you. So I was quite surprised to receive this intuition telling me, this coffee is a cleaning tool for you, drink it, enjoy it. So I was drinking coffee for many months to come for a very good amount of time. I don't remember precisely how long it was. And I was doing my cleaning in the morning, and I passed through this terrible period in my life that was very stressful, And during these mornings that I was drinking my coffee, I felt very blessed, and, this moment of peace and solitude, they were amazing. Uh, until one day, suddenly, I stopped liking coffee. So I remember this morning, like when I had the coffee, I was drinking the coffee, and I didn't feel so well. I felt like, wow, this coffee is strong. It didn't go so well on my stomach. And then suddenly I stopped drinking this coffee. I didn't want a coffee anymore. So I decided to drink tea instead, right? And I thought like, oh, well, now this tea is gonna be my cleaning tool, right? It was from my mind. But it wasn't, right? So the tea was not helping me to get into that state of profound gratitude and joy that I was feeling when I was drinking the coffee for some reason. So the tea was an idea from my mind, right? And it didn't work as well as the coffee did. The coffee was doing better for me. So what happened, well, I don't know. I do not know. What I know is that for a certain period of time, when I was really stressed about my life, I felt this desire to drink coffee very early in the morning, only in the morning, only in the morning. And that I received a very clear message in my mind that the coffee was a cleaning tool for me, right? And this tool worked perfectly for me until the day that it didn't work anymore, right? And what I learned from this experience is that when we are committed to do our cleaning, to clean memories, to let it go of all the dust we have in our being, divinity is going to help us in many different ways, right? And that could include, for instance, to give you the inspiration for a personal cleaning tool, something that's going to be very good for you and for you only. Now, in my case, I was inspired to drink coffee in the morning. Now, I didn't know that coffee could help me to feel so good, but divinity knew, right? And I also don't understand why after a while, I didn't feel like having that coffee anymore. So I don't know about that. So a personal tool is something that brings you joy and a feeling of gratitude. And these feelings of joy and gratitude, they maximize your cleaning because they bring you to a higher frequency. So joy and gratitude can expedite your cleaning and your healing. Now, what do you do that brings you great joy, pleasure, and a feeling of gratitude? For example, having a hot shower in the morning, going to walk in the park, contemplating your plants in your backyard, or having a hot beverage in the morning, walking your dog, petting your cat. I mean, what is this that you are doing already in your daily life that brings you joy, right? So pay attention on what brings you joy and gratitude, because these activities could be your personal cleaning tool. You can use these precious moments to do a deep cleaning instead of being distracted by passing thoughts in your mind. You can focus in the joy and the gratitude and do a cleaning, a very deep cleaning during these moments. And this is a cleaning that can last 1 minute only sometimes, or a few minutes, enough time for you to drink your coffee, your hot cocoa, or whatever it is you like. And let me know in the comments if you have ever received a cleaning tool, if you had any intuition, if you are using anything specific that it works perfectly well for you. Okay, I would love to hear from you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Aloha, and until the next one.